Looks like it is.
It says it's streaming live, but let me see.
It does? Okay. All right.
Yeah. I will just share it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I tagged you on it.
Okay.
So it would. Oh yeah, it wouldn't be on your page. You'd have to go to my page.
Yeah.
And then just share it. So I'm going to turn on the. Oops. Let's see. I don't see. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the tag is not done because I don't see, but I will share it.
Do you see the show?
I see the show on your page. Yeah.
Yeah. Just click share. You can share it to your page.
Yeah, I will share it.
I'm going to go ahead and share it to the network and our affiliated groups. So I want to give a big shout out to Soulogy, and the event is happening. Jim McCarty and that crew, Lacey and Damon over at Rising Above, 1111 Movement, Jessica Woods, News and Revelations of the Light, Juan Jose Vallejos Savicos in Spain, your neighboring country, Galactic Federation of Light, Twin Flame Healing Network, and who's the other one? 5D Soul Tribe. Yeah, okay. We got 30 people in the house. We're going to get started in a couple of minutes. Let me just say, if these shows resonate with you, please share, and please consider supporting us with a contribution, as we are 100% viewer supported at this time. We are in the final stages of some of the Soulogy team working on merchandise to help us facilitate our ability to be able to do this every day, not by the seat of our pants, as it's been for so long. But we do appreciate it. Endless gratitude, love, and respect to all of you, brothers and sisters. Thank you for the continued love, support, and contributions. Hello, Soraya Williams, Primi Hogo, Marita Shashan, our friend from Israel, Patricia Satchwell, Terry Willette, Elizabeth Babbitt, Cricket Holden, Linda Burton, Jody Lee's in the house, Maria Iverson, Pia Holland, beautiful Morgan Lee, Ella Gore, Amir Beth, our island mate, our sister, the mermaid, Lynn Wheatman, Kate Nee Folion, sorry I mispronounced your name, Jeannie Gazda, Yvette Lamoux, Neil Devaney, Ann McKean was on yesterday. Great show. Sonia Sandoval, hola. ¿Cómo está usted, Sonia? Denise Chadwick, Beth Bushlash from Camas, Washington, Jennifer Lee, Diane Richards, dear friend from San Antonio, Texas. Yeah, we got 41 people in the house and counting. We're back on Facebook. We're not being held off anymore. And we got a great show today. It's a real pleasure to bring in our friend Maja from Portugal. Actually, she's from a lot of places. Let me just give you a little background on our guest, Maja Metlic.
Metlic.
Metlic. Okay. She's a soul mission mentor, intuitive, source codes transmitter, and new earth visionary. She works multidimensionally through presence, light code activation, and frequency holding. And she also, before stepping into her soul mission path, was a criminal lawyer in the Matrix.
Yes.
But we all had jobs in the Matrix, didn't we? So welcome to the show. Thank you for honoring us with your presence and sharing space with us today. I saw a beautiful post you did a couple of days ago. It's a very powerful day, and I know you can verify that, validate that. But welcome to the show, and thank you for coming. I know it was a little bit nerve-wracking to you, but we're just going to have a conversation.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here.
That's excellent. Excellent. You are obviously very connected. Your aura speaks before your words. You obviously had, like many of us, a past life in this incarnation when we were knee-deep in the Matrix, holding down regular jobs and doing regular, normal things until we became crazy.
Yeah, well, I think I was crazy from the beginning of this life.
Was there a point where you just woke up and decided to go 100% into the work you're doing now? And just walk away from what we were told normal was?
You know what? I actually never felt normal. Ever since I was a child, I remember this very well. I was asking myself, what is this? Why am I here? Why is everybody behaving so strange? Why is everybody not being honest and authentic? I remember this, really, I was thinking this when I was a child. And then at one point, I think I realized that this is some other place where I landed, where it's different than I think it should be. So I kind of learned not to show myself and how I was, because ever since I was a child, I felt all the energies. I could read what people were thinking. I could see things that will happen, and I thought everybody was like me. But then at some point in my childhood, I realized it's not like that. So I really closed up, and I didn't share anything about my gifts, or however you want to call them, I think until university. But I was using them, just not saying to anyone. And I was a little bit like, okay, I'm here, so let me just see what this is.
Yeah. So did you have you had or have you ever had, from a young age, what people call, visitations, whether they be star family or divine essences or other faces of the universe speaking to you?
So I think I was just always aware that there is something higher, or I don't know how to call it. And it was just normal for me. But let's say for the first time that an entity presented itself to me with a name was Archangel Michael. That was the first time. And this was, I think I was already working or maybe in university. Before, it was just nothing specific, like I was never told the name, but I knew they were all the time here. Yeah. And then as time was passing, I was never reading about these things. I was never going to workshops. I was never talking to anyone about this. And then with Facebook, and later when I met some people, I connected more to Mary Magdalene specifically, and to mostly Mary Magdalene. And then at some point the Syrians came to me telling me I'm from there. And then as time was passing, and I was opening up more and more to this, so I'm talking now, I don't know, let's say 2 years ago, beings or whatever came to me and they say, we are the white ones.
Yeah.
And then they said, we are the High Council of Light. That's what I got, but I was really never curious who are these entities.
Yeah. I guess that's really not, it's all coming from the same place when you get right down to it.
Yes, exactly.
So in these conversations with the universal, did you and do you receive specific intel, like what your mission is or what's going on in the world? Like even like today, what the hell's going on today? Everybody's lit up. Everybody's got a smile on their face, it seems like today. But do you get direct information that's specific to you and or what's going on in the collective?
Okay, so now and in the last months or last year, it's not even that I'm having a conversation anymore. It's just a knowing.
Knowing, yeah.
Yeah, because also I know now for, I don't know, maybe the last year, I have integrated this knowing that this is all one, this is all me, us, everything is one. So I'm not talking anymore to anything that appears outside.
Yeah.
It just arrives. And also it's changing how I receive information. Let's say maybe last year I was receiving more on the energies that were happening, and what was being activated, what codes were being downloaded. Now lately, I get more the guidance that I need to share and inspire people about embodying their true essence and bringing their soul mission into form.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah.
Go ahead.
But sorry.
Yeah.
But I do receive, like, for example, this morning when I woke up, I was immediately feeling this sensation in my stomach and a little bit sick. And I know already what this means, that again, a lot is flowing down and shifting. But I have to say now I don't even mostly tune into it anymore, what exactly is going on.
Yeah.
Because we are just being uplifted. We are like on a wave and we are surfing, and you are either in or you want to jump out. I don't know if you can at this point.
I don't think we can. I don't think we can.
I agree.
We say it a lot on this show, let go or be dragged, the old Zen proverb.
Yeah.
So, oh my God. Oh yeah. So this morning, yeah. So what you're saying is that, and I think a lot of us are getting to this point where we don't have to know what's coming in.
Yeah.
We know that we're getting that code, and when we need it, it'll present itself to us. It's kind of how I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also what I posted a video today where I was talking about allowing.
Yeah.
And like really about a deeper version of allowing, where we are just present with what's happening and we just remove the blocks. That's it. And the rest will go by itself.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. It was like before, it seemed like we let go and then you accept. But now it seems like it just shifted to where, like you said, with the video this morning, just allow, just remove anything in the process. It's almost like the same action in one, really. Yeah. So now you obviously work with people. You're a practitioner. So how you said something a second ago. If somebody was just waking up now, and there are many people doing that, even at different stages, how do you find your soul mission, and how do you open these codes within yourself? How does somebody do that?
Well, finding your soul mission is actually remembering your soul mission. And it's a path of accepting yourself who you are as a human, and then opening up to all the multidimensional aspects, and maybe even before that, dealing with your inner feminine and masculine essences. I talk about this all the time because for me, this is the key to remembering your soul mission. Because when you work on healing your inner feminine and your inner masculine, and I mean, the whole thing, healing the feminine, healing the masculine, and healing the relationship between your inner feminine and masculine, the forgiveness and the trust. And when this is happened, or when you are working on it, it's like it happens organically that your inner feminine and masculine start dancing. They merge and they start this dance. And when they merge, actually it's so funny. I was recording a video on exactly this today. And when they merge, it's like they create, I don't know how to call it, a vortex or a channel through which your soul mission is birthed through you into form.
Mm.
And that's how it starts to become more clear.
Yeah.
What to do, who to speak, who will support you, what is it exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you told, you sent me a message a little bit about your story. You're from Slovenia, right?
Yes.
And then you traveled around and you went to Bali and to some other places, like so many of us were led to do, which made no sense to the human being. But we just had to do it. And that's another thing, I think, that maybe you can give some insight into those who are just waking up and getting this crazy call to pack your stuff up, leave everything behind, and just start going where you're told to go.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Did you struggle with the directions you were getting?
Yes, of course. So this happened 7 years ago. Actually, in January 2012, I quit my job as a criminal lawyer. I was working for the prosecutor's office in Slovenia. And already 2 years before that, I think that's when a deeper process started for me. I was not liking my job anymore. Not just that, not liking my job anymore, but I saw that I can be of service elsewhere, like of better service. Because, in the first place, I became a lawyer because ever since I was a small child, for me, the most important thing in my life was to be of service.
Yes.
Always. And I thought this will be, through bringing justice as a lawyer. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I was struggling for 2 years already before I quit. I was thinking, but what else can I even do? I studied law for so many years. I don't know how to do anything else. I'm afraid to lose my income. And in Slovenia, we don't have high paychecks. So a lawyer is not paid that much as in other countries. But anyway, I was thinking about this for 2 years. And then, some things happened that I got, I earned some more money. And just one day I woke up and it was like, quit your job, move to Amsterdam. I was like, what?
Party time. Party time.
I said, no, but why? I had these conversations with my higher self.
Yeah.
Why? Why to Amsterdam? It's an expensive city. I don't have a job. Why? It was just no. Quit your job and move to Amsterdam.
Wow.
Point. That's all, without explanation. And I already knew I will have to do it, but I think I was struggling with it maybe for a month. I met Vera in Amsterdam, but later, that was an interesting story, on Lionsgate, actually.
Vera Ingeborg.
Yeah. So I was struggling with it for a month, resisting, but I knew was no point to resist. And so this was January 2012, the big year 2012, when everything collapsed for everyone, I think, who was on this wave.
Yeah.
And
that's when all hell broke loose.
Yes.
So heaven could come in the door, right?
Yeah. But so much better that I didn't know about what was coming. So I quit my job. I packed my stuff, and I was with a partner at that time who pretty much just moved from Estonia to live with me in Slovenia. And I said, no, we have to go to Amsterdam. Sorry. So we did, and none of us had a job. But I had savings, so we came there. And anyway, like from then, everything, just started going crazy. So
it's part fairy tale and part nightmare sometimes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's nightmare, but it's just I know, like, I was very mobile too, and it was like the universe was constantly putting me in a place. I would always say like I was like in the middle of an ocean on an island, and you couldn't see anything. You couldn't see anything, and they just kept telling me, just stay right there. You're perfect. You're right where you need to be. I see. You're speaking of Vera. and I have a tremendous amount of respect for Vera and Augusti. I love doing shows with them. So they just went to Rio, and then you see all these other people. My friend Yukia just went to Peru. She was I'm going to Peru, and now she's been there like 3 months. But it's like we look at the headlines, the global headlines, and we look for direction, like which way is the world going? But it's actually in these little journeys with all these 8 billion people, one by one, listening to their higher self and actually creating this new template or new way of living or new earth or whatever you want to call it. What's your take? What's your perspective on where things are right now? I mean, I know you were recently writing about the 2 video, or you just mentioned 2 videos that you were working on today. But what do you think? What the hell's going on?
So I feel, but again, who knows what will happen in the coming days and months, but I feel we have just emerged out of a big purge.
Yeah.
And it feels lighter. It feels like we are filled with new energy. And I mean, sometimes I lose a little bit contact with the reality, with the other reality.
Yeah.
Because I'm so much in this, what I am creating for myself and hanging out with people who are building new earth, and we are not distracted by the matrix anymore.
Yeah.
And so I feel that this group of people, we will now really create what is our soul mission. I think the time of the soul mission really coming into form is now here.
Yeah.
And we've been all creating things that were important until now. They were part of the path. But the soul mission is the piece of the puzzle with which we really create new earth. We bring it into form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems to be supported,
Yeah.
It seems like that non-physical, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it, higher self, it seems like almost like to accept the fact there's nothing to worry about, truly nothing to worry about. It's not new age and it's not some kind of cliche, but if we can, as we become and integrate and are actualized, that non-worrying faith, trust that you talked about earlier, the magic just starts exploding.
Yes, and it happens so fast now. It's immediate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that a second ago. People talk about creative manifestation, instant manifestation. The time between what we're thinking and what's actually materializing is shortening. It's becoming less and less. Do you have, is there an equation to create instant manifestation? What do we have to do in order to spark that energy?
So I think that's a very interesting topic, manifestation. In the past, there were so many of workshops and things, how to instantly manifest this and that. So what I feel, and I was thinking about this in the recent days, actually to manifest something, you don't need to do anything. First, you needed to do the work, and then you just need to align with what you want to manifest and let it go, not think about it.
Yeah.
This is for me the way, like there is no other formula. You have to do the work before you are able to manifest like this.
Yeah.
And I'm still not able to manifest everything that I would like in my life, but I do trust that this is just my path. I still need to clear some programs that I obviously have, or I just need to walk a certain path before that happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no doubt that things take longer on the linear timeline. There's no doubt about that. I have a feeling what we're all familiar with before we came here, it didn't take that long. But but I get what you're saying. I look at, well, you talk about 2012. That's when it kind of started for me and many other people. But it seems like all the work that we did and have done from 2012 to the present, that was work too. Even though it may not have been a concrete idea or we weren't clear on our soul mission,
Yes.
I feel like that the universe is reciprocating now all of that work. And to your point earlier, that the matrix no longer, we're not allowing the matrix, what we call the matrix, to disempower us anymore.
Yeah.
And there's numbers now. Used to be you might know one person or two people, and now there's a lot of people on this soul train. You know?
Yes, there is a critical mass now that is able to really raise the frequency, the collective frequency. That's why the change is happening so fast also. This is what I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what what you were saying, I mean, we really had to do the work. That was necessary.
Yeah.
But it kind of feels like the work before was like digging in a coal mine and
Yeah.
like throwing
Yeah.
literally the shit, like digging there. And
Yeah.
now it's lighter. Now
Yes.
we are, yeah.
Yeah, that was the tough one. That was a tough. That was a tough period. You talk about Mary Magdalene, and I've noticed recently that's been mentioned, or she's been mentioned. That energy, that consciousness, her has been mentioned. I think as a face of the feminine, of the mother goddess and such. But I've noticed that she's coming more and more to the surface on these shows, and even in what I'm reading out there. What do you think the significance of that is? Mary Magdalene, that frequency, that message, that consciousness expanding on the earth now. Is there something in your mind that's attributed to, or why that's happening?
Why that's happening? I mean, I think it's just time. And for me, Mary Magdalene is the template of the pure divine feminine, yeah, energy and embodiment. Yeah, and we are returning to our truth.
Yeah.
And I think she represents the truth. Yeah.
So in essence, the old grid was, we all know, patriarchal, and
Yes.
and maybe the reason that we're seeing more and more and more of that divine feminine presence, a true divine feminine presence, is because that is the new grid.
Yes, and of course, like the old system was governed by the distorted masculine energy.
Yeah.
And the feminine, which also had to heal, is now coming, the pure feminine energy essence, and Mary Magdalene represents that. And yeah, she's bringing in the new earth, and the masculine will join her, and then together in this merging.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
She's bringing in the energy of the new earth, and the masculine will join her as soon as he pulls his finger out.
I mean, you know what? The masculine is holding space.
Yeah, she is. I'm making a joke.
Yeah.
Because I think that's part of the reason we're at the space we are today, and we're past the tipping point, because that masculine energy collectively has done what he needed to do too. So it's
Yes.
the dance is starting outside of our bodies now, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the one that you talked about. What role do you think? I know that you've embodied everything, and many people talk about that. You know, we talk to these essences outside of us, and then eventually we start to know, like you're talking about. But what role do you think the galactics have? Is it strictly a role of communicating to us and assisting us, or do you think we'll actually see a further integration of what we might call the physical and the non-physical, or visible light and what was non-visible light, you know, dimensions intertwining? Do you think we'll see something like that?
Honestly, I don't know, but I think everything is possible. because I see everything is moving so fast right now, and many of us are already working with a lot of dimensions.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because I don't work so much with the galactics.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just never pulled so much there for now.
Yeah.
For now. So I don't know, like I said, but I feel everything is opening up and is happening. And when I don't know if you heard about the Bosnian pyramids.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've not. I don't know in detail, but I've had several people have cited that, and that was a pretty recent thing, wasn't it? Like in the last 2 or 3 years.
No, it was longer.
Okay.
Because 3 years ago was the first time that I went there.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's really a place that I felt as my home. And that's where the Syrians were showing me how this was done. Because how the pyramid and the tunnels under the pyramid, because there in the Bosnian pyramids, you can go in the tunnels, and it's a extremely special and powerful place. And for example, yeah, like I said, the Syrians were showing themselves to me when I was in the tunnels and telling me a little bit about how this was built with their technology, and showing me the path to the pyramid of the sun, because right now it's not the tunnels are not open yet. They didn't dig so far to come to any of the pyramids from the inside.
Well, that's powerful. Yeah, that's powerful. And they're actually finding pyramids everywhere now.
Yes.
I saw a picture the other day of some pyramids right outside in the ocean, right off Kauai. I don't know if it was legitimate, but it sure looked like it.
Yeah, I do think that pyramids are placed on really many places because they are receivers of a signal that's coming,
Yeah.
from above. Yeah.
Yeah. So back to the soul missions are coming into in with greater clarity for each of us, and that seems to be a driver, a driver for the collective. But the creative process, or the materialization manifestation process, seems to be a lot different now than it used to be. It's like it's very strange, because we don't. I'm asking you. I mean, it's like we don't design it and create a template and plan a 5-year plan and this step and that step and this step and that step. It doesn't seem to work that way, and that's kind of strange. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, I think, and I've been, observing this with my own soul mission, because in the past, let's say 2 years, and I was working with my best friend, Kaya. So we were changing what we are doing, like every 2 months. I said, I need to describe again because it's changed. And then we were changing. And right now I'm thinking, I feel like I have to offer something new that's coming through me. And I can't put my fingers on it. I can't really describe it yet. And I feel, so what's coming now as soul mission for many, probably it's so new that it's completely out of the perception that we used to have.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit any of the templates. It doesn't fit the systems that we have,
No,
So,
it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. I've been talking about this website and multiple channel broadcasting network for 2 years, and had to blow it up so many times. And until we tried to get in January, and until like we, came to the point where we just got to let go. Just let go and take off the linear timeline pressure
Yes.
and just
Yes.
allow things to flow,
Yes.
It's an uncomfortable, it's getting more comfortable, but it's an uncomfortable feeling. I always use the analogy, if you're at the grocery store and you're driving the grocery cart down the grocery aisle and you don't have to grab anything, the things just, whatever you need just flies into the basket. But you're looking at it going, wow, did you see that just happen? Wow, did you see that just happen? And it's kind of uncomfortable. Or
I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
How you describe it. Yeah. I mean, it is uncomfortable, I'm like, sometimes, because I have this very strongly. I always had the challenge with finances because all my life, I just didn't feel that I have to go after money. I didn't know how to do it. It was just not part of me. And okay, I did have, some beliefs that I had to heal about money. But still now, I feel like, well, I shouldn't really have to do anything for it except being myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Exactly.
then again, yeah, I have to pay my bills and stuff. And sometimes I'm like, well, where are you? Or, but then I realized, okay, I have to go deeper. I have to surrender deeper and
Yeah.
trust deeper.
Yeah, it's funny. It looks to me like, and it's just my opinion, and I'm being a little funny about it, but it looks to me like that a healthy bank account in 3D is, 100,000 or $1,000,000. But in the 5D, a healthy bank account is just whatever you need for today.
Yes, yes.
You just have to say, because if you hold on to it, that's what I'm getting, because I've gone through the same thing you've gone through, which is you level up and you detached, and it flows a little bit more, and then it starts stopping again.
Yes, yes.
And the more you worry about it, the more it stops, and then you let go again and it comes in.
Yes.
But to me, that what you said about just do what you want and it'll come to you, I'm really feeling that. And I also really feel, and I don't think it's just me, I think it's your energy, and I think a lot of people's energy, which is, it's almost like a windfall is coming, like a
Yeah.
huge, like a lottery, but not lottery like in 3D terms, an energetic lottery where all of that worry and strife and suffering and all that, that we did to ourselves, it goes away.
Yes. I feel that, and I'm feeling actually this very strongly, maybe for the last 2 days, 1 day or 2 days, really strongly feeling this.
Me too. Thank you. Me too. Very, very much the last couple of days. And it's been building up, but the last couple of days specifically, and I'm like looking at it, and I'm not worrying about it, but I'm looking at it because I know something's happening. And it can't just be me. Thank you for the validation.
And right now, as we are talking about this, I'm getting so dizzy, like even more than before. So this means that it's a confirmation, but we are also transmitting the codes now.
Yeah.
To everybody who will watch this.
Yeah. And you get dizzy, and I start getting hot from the inside out. Now I'm sweating like a dog.
Yeah, I'm also, I don't know if you can see, like I'm all red.
It's happening. I think to me, that's waking up today and being, talking with Morgan and seeing my friend and watching people on social media. It seems like an air of, it's here, it's done, it's here. It's not going away. So much of our journey has been 2 steps up and 1 step back, and 2 steps up and 1 step back, but it's like a yo-yo. But now it seems like it's there, it's there. Maybe it's for the people that have done the work, the inner work, or maybe I don't know how that works, but I agree with you. There's some type of critical mass that we've had glimpses of, but that's actually done, like a switch is going off.
It feels that the support is really here now, and we know it and we accept it, and then we just create. That's why we came here, to feel free to just create and not worry and block ourselves with, okay, this, what about this, what, no. Just allow it to come through.
That's right. No more giving power over to lawless laws, borders, none of that stuff. It's just, they're just programs. And I think it's that individual journey that you've had, that I've had, many have had, like Vera and Augusti in Rio are having, and Yukia in Peru, and all these different people just getting up and going out and doing it. That's how we break this thing, or that's how we brought in this new grid, is you know, not allowing it to take our power anymore. And it feels good today. Today feels like a very, very good day, great day, fantastic day. So what are you doing on a personal level? I mean, what's your passion? What's your mission? What are you working on? How can we help you? You know, how can we expand awareness of what you're doing?
Yeah, this is always my problem. How to, like, if somebody asks me, how can I help you? How can I support you? I'm like, oh. But yeah, so I'm working, my soul mission is to awaken remembrance in people of who they truly are.
Yeah.
And this is what then sparks their soul mission.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, right now, okay, besides creating all this free content that I just feel I need to do because this is what needs to happen, I offer personal mentoring, which I have on my website. I will create something that's coming now, but it's like I'm grasping it now.
Yeah.
But one big thing actually that I feel very called to do is to become a speaker.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because I don't know if we have time to share just a short story.
Yeah, we have plenty of time. Yes.
So this is a very, I think, interesting story that talks about the manifesting, the instant manifestation. So just a note, ever since I was, like when I was a child, I was very shy. And I would never want to speak in front of people. I would blush and so on. So I was avoiding it. But I saw a vision of myself speaking in front of a big auditorium of people when I was a child. And I said to myself, but how can this ever be? This is not possible. I can't. I'm afraid. Anyway, so 2 months ago, just after equinox, which was a big shift, again, specifically for soul mission, I went to the Women Economic Forum here in Portugal. My friend was inviting me. She said, come. And I was resisting at first. And, you know, I knew I will have my period, which is a very difficult time for me usually. But I said, okay, I will go. And in this Women Economic Forum, you can apply to speak on topics. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at the topics, and one topic was the new paradigm. Mm. And I was like, oh, I could speak about that, but I'm not going to apply because stand on stage and I'm first day of my period and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't. And we arrived there at this forum. On the first day, they give us some ID things to put, you know, around to wear. And my thing said speaker. And I look at this and I'm like, well, that's a mistake. I'm not a speaker, I'm just a delegate. But there was a mantra that was going in my head that day. I'm a speaker, I'm a speaker, I'm a speaker. So I was looking at the program for this panel about the new paradigm. I was just looking about it in the morning. And then after lunch, I look at it again and I see my name there. And this panel was starting in 10 minutes. I'm like, what is happening now? I mean, okay, I was wishing to be a speaker, but not now, not yet. So I ran to the organizer and I said, why am I here? I wasn't here in the morning. I don't know, you're here, but we can remove you if you want. Just tell me now. And I was, oh, and I thought, I'm so afraid, I don't feel well. I don't have a speech prepared, but I would regret if I didn't go on stage. So I will do it. And then I said, okay, and I'm on stage, and I was the last one to speak, and I was just, like literally shaking, and I said, okay, just give me what I need to say. Just come and I will say that. I'm just, I'm here for that. And when it was my turn, I stood up, and I don't know how many people were there, 100, maybe 150, I don't know.
Wow.
But when I was standing there, it was like, this is where I need to be.
Yeah.
And I started speaking about soul mission and about what I see as the new paradigm. And I was looking at people, and they were going like this. And I was thinking, what's happening? Wow, so I'm doing something. This is it. This is what I need to do. So, yes.
Wow. You can't make this stuff up.
No.
You jumped. You didn't jump a timeline. You like hurdled like 5 of them or something.
Yes.
You definitely, yeah. That's an incredible story, and I know we'll hear more and more of those types of stories.
Yeah, but so when you were asking me how you could support me or help me, I will just say this: I want to be a speaker.
Yeah.
I'm just stating this here, and I know I can deliver something powerful, a transmission, something deeper. So I'm just, releasing this here. So
That's why. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
yeah, yeah.
That's how we do it. Yeah. Now, and as far as your sessions, you do sessions now.
Yes.
You do coaching, but then can you just give us like a general idea of how you go about that? Because I'm sure there's going to be people that are interested, and then at the end of the show, we can figure out how to get in touch with you. But so, how do you? If I came to you, and whatever stage I was at, but how would you start me out? I mean, can you give me a general idea?
Yeah. So I do single sessions or like an immersion, which is 6 sessions, so we can go deeper. But every session, or at least, every session starts like this. Already when a person contacts me, I connect to them. I connect to their field, and I already see what it's going to be about. And I see this, everybody who is attracted by what I do, or who feels interest or feels called, we have a soul agreement.
Yeah.
That we will meet and we will exchange something. Yeah. And so in a session, I connect to your field and I read from your field. Basically, I talk with your higher self.
Yeah.
And your higher self tells me what you, human, need so that you can take the next step.
Wow.
And I assist you with that. And I do that, first of all, through frequency holding, because I hold a very high frequency, where for people it's like, it's like if they were in a fog before, I lift them above this fog so they can see the whole picture. They get clarity.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't even talk about new concepts. Many times not, because the people who usually come to my sessions are people who are already reading about this. They know the concepts. But all of them say that now it's clear. Now they understand, like they integrate and they get it, how to do things. And of course, I do code activation. I work with the language of light.
Yeah.
So I do that as well.
Would you be Well, it's all about code exchange. Would you be interested in doing some light language now? Would you be interested in bringing in a message or?
Yeah, I was already feeling this earlier in the day, and I was like, really?
Well,
I'll just drink some water.
yeah.
You know, because I'm really hot, like I'm all red, you can see, and this happens when everything is building up.
I know. I know. Believe me, 1,000 shows, and I'm the client in every session, so I can relate. It's a multidimensional experience. This is.
I mean, I'm surprised that you are still like in form with all the interviews that you do and all. Yeah, so I will just speak what comes through, and for those listening, I just invite you to be open to receiving and not think about what it might mean or what you should feel or anything. Just make the intention that you are open to receiving whatever is meant for you right now. Akea tia leaka, tara eia kea ti tea shia kea ta le kia ta, tara eia ke la kaya ea ta, tera shia tea ka la kea te, tara tea ti a kea ta, tara kia kea ala kea ti, tera ti a kea ta, kaya ke la tia ka, tara ke tia kia ta. A short one.
That was very good. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
I think we learned one thing in 5D: size doesn't matter. So, how can people? First of all, are you open to working with people that view this live in the replay?
Yes, of course.
Okay, yeah, and so, excuse me. You're talking to me. Wow. So, yeah. So how can people get in touch with you to find out about a session or an immersion or anything else you might do? What's the best ways to get in touch with you?
The best way is my website, which is irresistibletribe.com.
Okay. Irresistibletribe.com.
Yeah.
And can they also message you on Messenger, or you prefer just the website?
They can message me on Messenger if that's easier, but I receive so many messages, and
yeah. So
the best way is either through the website, or just send me an email to hello@irresistibletribe.
hello@irresistibletribe.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, or irresistibletribe.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the best way too, because you can't really keep track of
exactly.
Messenger. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Wow, what a beautiful experience! What a beautiful day! I don't know if there's anything you'd like to add or share, anything else before we conclude, but anything that resonates with you or aligns with you that you feel like you might need to say or whatever.
Well, the main thing I want to say thank you for doing this, for holding the space, for walking your path and doing your soul mission, because you are really bringing the message of New Earth to so many, and you are connecting all of us. For example, Merita, I met her because I saw her on your show, and she was coming to Portugal, so we met here. And I really want to thank you for doing this. It's really big work. And then I also want to thank everyone who is watching, for walking the path and for going on even when it's hard, and for trusting and for just being themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll second that. I'll
Mhm.
second that. And I just show up and do the show. That's my role. I would have never interviewed Marita and 90% of the other people hadn't been for Morgan, and some others that were involved or are still involved. So Soulogy is an energy. It's a platform for the voice of the once suppressed and oppressed Mother Goddess energy, frequency, voice that's in all of us. So, and I would just say that to everybody too. Everyone who's been on the show. I'm looking at Vera, Dorian, other people. Thank you for stepping up. Please, I encourage everybody. We encourage you, everybody at Soulogy, which is a consciousness in and of itself. You're supported in this platform. Nothing to be afraid of. We just come on and have a conversation and spontaneously, intuitively, creatively, and imaginatively make our way, and sometimes courageously, because we need a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. You're a beautiful soul, and I really did enjoy it. It's a great way to start this momentous day. I think we're in store for a momentous few days. It's a very powerful end of the month that we're all facing. So
Yeah.
best to you and yours. I hope to collaborate with you again. And if we can help, you expand the awareness of your incredible speaking and light language abilities, this is the place. So,
thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
yes, yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.